This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Real Talk 1160. And just let me tell you, everybody, my voice is nearly 100%. And Sensible Don, I heard that Dennis Miller commercial. And when I listen to Dennis Miller, I'm telling you, he mumbles too much, and he uses all those big words. He's a sophisticated rhetorician, inebriated with the exuberance of his own verbosity. And ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I did not read that, did I?
No, you didn't. That came right at the top of that head of yours, and that's really amazing to me.
Now, I just want everybody to know that
what the vice president means is I have no idea what the vice president
Thank you very much.
This is Martin Luther King Day, which is a day. You know what cracks me up about Martin Luther King Day?
What?
They act like it's a day just for blacks. I say Martin Luther King Day is a great day for all Americans. Do you agree?
Anytime an American can have a day off, they take a day off. They don't care why.
Well, speaking of your day off, you know, people. This is what I do on Martin Luther King Day and every other holiday. I am off. In other words, my office is closed. I just don't tell anybody that works for me.
So they don't know, huh?
So they don't know. Nobody in my office knows that we're closed today.
Oh,
is that not perfect?
That is perfect.
But we're closed. But I don't tell them.
Now the cat's out the bag?
The cat's out of the bag. Nah, they don't get up this early to listen. The only person that might be listening is Chuck.
Yes.
And Chuck knows I'm joking.
No, Chuck just turned off the next exit. He's heading back home. I'm
you
going
know,
back
Martin
to get
Luther
me some
King,
breakfast, going to bed.
Martin Luther King Jr. deserves his day as a leader of the civil rights movement. He showed courage. He was a great speaker. His I Have a Dream speech is one of the greatest speeches of all time. I rank it third behind the Gettysburg Address and the Stamp Act speech of Patrick Henry, which I enjoy playing. And I've read 2 biographies, Sensible Don. I own a documentary I've watched 10 times, and I have a bust of – this drove Glenn nuts. Glenn didn't believe it. I have a bust of Martin Luther King in my lobby of my law office.
No, Glenn wouldn't believe that.
I'll bet you I know more about Martin Luther King than you.
You probably do, because I would not say
TC, where did he go to college?
He went to in Atlanta.
Not bad, not bad.
I know that it's on the tip of my tongue.
If you have a house,
is our sister college.
If you have a house and it's not big enough, what do you want?
Morehouse State. Spelman's. They're connected. I knew that.
Now listen, the actual speech is too long. I mean, it's just too long. I Have a Dream, which I love the speech. So instead of that, we're going to have a feel-good song instead of the Martin Luther King speech.
That's a good
now, don't
idea.
you think that's a great idea? A feel-good song instead of the Martin Luther King speech. Don't you think that's a good idea?
Yes. If it ever get up. If
this is Fleetwood Mac Dreams in honor of Martin Luther King.
As in, I have a dream.
I have a dream. This is a good song, Sensible. Now, it's not Ray Charles. I know that.
Yeah, right. You do realize this was a stump speech. He did it every night.
You know what he did when he spoke? I love it. Oh, Stevie Nicks' voice just makes me melt. Oh, wait a minute. A guy doesn't melt, a woman melts.
Thank you very much.
What does a guy do? Whatever a guy does, this is what it does. Now, I got
he does the opposite of melt.
Now, you know he was famous for writing his speeches out, and then he would memorize them pretty well, and then he would always leave the copy in his seat and go up and deliver them extemporaneously without a teleprompter. Yeah. Listen to this sultry voice. Oh, Sensible Don, if Stevie Nicks sang this song to you, and just the two of you were in the room, would you be thinking of Ray Charles?
I wouldn't be listening to Stevie Nicks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You don't think she has a sultry, haunting voice?
No. No, I don't. No.
Here we go. Is this the refrain, as we call it? There we go.
The chorus.
The chorus. Thunder only happens when it's raining. And when I am in the middle of... No, this is a Christian radio station.
Della Reese has a haunting voice.
I have a dream.
You know, I don't know what the guys are thinking right now. They're listening to us, but the women are loving this.
Oh, they are.
Now, you ready for the Jack Wagon? Let's go to a feel good at Jack Wagon. I got a couple Jack Wagons. First of all, I'd like to know who sits around on Fox Sports and says, yeah, Joe Buck is our lead guy. Is he the biggest monotone? And the Joe Buck, for being a monotone, you know, I did it again, is a Jack Wagon.
He's a jack wagon with Oracle status.
Hell
that
no,
makes
he's
him
not.
An Oracle Jack.
Does
that make him a jackal?
And then the captain of the Costa Rica, Francisco Schlatino, you know what he said? He goes, that rock's not supposed to be there. Now, I got to ask y'all a question. Does anybody think like somebody picked the rock up and put it in front of
That's what
the
happened.
Costa Concordia?
That's what happened.
Concordia?
Somebody put that rock there.
That rock wasn't supposed to be there.
The kids were playing with that rock.
That's like flying an airplane and saying, man, that Statue of Liberty wasn't supposed to be there.
Well, it is.
And we'll get to the Poseidon.
Now what?
We'll get to the 2012 Poseidon adventure later in the show. Now my oracles. Now this takes a lot of courage. A lot of courage. The 49ers and the Giants. I hate both of these teams. I hate both of them. But I hope Jerry Jones was watching because you know what? I am a big enough man as a Cowboys fan to admit that the 49ers and the Giants got more grit than the Cowboys, who are wimpies.
That's right.
I root for a bunch of cowgirls. Tony Homo, Romo,
See,
and the rest of the Cowboys, they're soft. The Giants are tough.
Unlike you, I root for a team that's playing ball.
You want to hear it's funny? Maria Dallas. This is hilarious. My secretary is named Maria Dallas, and she's from Yonkers, New York, all right, via Ukraine, via Poland. I mean, she is a Ukrainian, Polish Brooklyn chick, which means she's tougher than nails. When I first met her and we interviewed her, I thought she was a nun. I mean, you know how nuns are tough? Yeah. And by the way, I say that affectionately. But anyway, she is a big Giants fan. So listen to this. Last week, now, the Giants had already beaten the Falcons last week. They didn't beat the Cowboys until like a week earlier. So like 2 weeks late, walking through the hall, Maria goes, sorry about your luck against the Giants with your Cowboys. I'm like, that was 2 weeks ago. She says, I figured I'd wait till now because you maybe wouldn't be able to take it if I said it right afterwards.
She had that
her
right.
name is Dallas.
She had that right.
Do you know I had two dogs once named Dallas and Cowboy?
Oh,
And my secretary, I wrote this thing into like they wanted to pick like the greatest Cowboy fan of all time. I said, wait a minute. I got a dog named Dallas, a dog named Cowboy, and my secretary's named Dallas. How could you get me a bigger fan than that? And then finally, as an oracle, did I give the Giants and the 49ers oracle status?
Yeah. No, you didn't.
I give Martin Luther King Jr. posthumously oracle status. Can you say that word, something about on posthumously?
Posthumously.
I
No,
like
you
the way
can't.
you say
Yes.
that. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Let's go to the quote of the day. The most notable feature of a disturbance in your city last summer was the hanging. How'd this become the quote of the day? Was the hanging of some working people by other what the? Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, when you get the quote of the day, Sarah, how about a little bit of editing? Today in history, Prohibition began in 1920 as the 18th Amendment in the U.S. Constitution took effect. 1 year today after its ratification.
And it meant nothing to
It
the
meant
boast
nothing but crime.
It meant nothing to the boast
Hey,
of that.
speaking of Prohibition, 1935, fugitive gangster Fred Barker and his mother, Kate, Ma Barker, were killed in a shootout with the FBI at Lake Weir, Florida. Now, what kind of a crazy woman is the leader of a gang? Come on, kids, let's go rob a bank.
Ma went down with a Tommy gun in her hand.
Only in the South, and I'll bet you they're Scott-Irish.
Well, that was before Disney. You know, there was no Disney World then.
Let's go rob a bank, kids. And in 1944, General G. Dwight Eisenhower took command of the Allied Expeditionary Forces in London. Famous birthdays today. Oh, my God. Albert Pujols, Kate Moss, who says nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. I agree with Kate. And who the hell is Andre Michelin? Is he like the head of the Michelin? And
Michelin.
Michelin. 3-day forecast. Today, showers. Tomorrow, rain. And Wednesday, mostly sunny. That's the forecast.
Coming back to
Mild temperatures.
Mild temperatures. And the feel-good song of the day, we've already played it. And military deaths, God bless the soul. Private Neil Turner, 21, of Tacoma, Washington, died January 11th in Logar Province, Afghanistan. You know what? It's kind of messed up that we're learning the provinces of Afghanistan by the deaths of our soldiers.
down there, right?
God bless him. From Fort Bliss, Texas. Gosh dang, another soldier. When we return, we're going to have history. We got humor. And by the way, I want to read the humor before. By the way, somebody told us, Sensible Dom, that our show's kind of like two shows. Like our first show, because we cover some of these lighthearted events, is like one show. And then the second part of our show is like, more serious when we cover politics and economics. I say it's radio superbity and witty and wise all the way around.
Wait.
But you two got to start picking up your game. Can you guys pick up your game this week?
Yeah.
Picking it up right now. You think politics is serious?
We got game.
You got game today, TC?
I think we got
In
game.
honor of Martin Luther King, my two black guys ought to have some game.
I have a dream.
You have a dream? What do you have your dream about?
I have a dream that all my friends will just stop selling Amway and stop calling me about it. I get so sick of hearing about it.
By the way, speaking of Amway, I am a purveyor of Snack Healthy, which is like online Amway. Snack Healthy, online Amway.
Stay away.
John Horvath says you ain't got to do anything, just sign up. I said, okay,
Yeah.
I'm signed up.
Yeah, right.
When we return, more radio superbity on Real Talk 1160.
Make sure you join Dennis Miller today, noon to 2 on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
Keep that song going. This is the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. We're an American band.
Oh, we know.
Listen to this cowbell. It's the cowbell, Don. As you go through life, you need two things: love and more cowbell. Hey, how many times have you ever walked up to a woman and said, "Hey, Chiquita"? I never did that before. I want to do that once. I got to get my wife's permission. I said, "Honey, can I just go up?" I never call her honey. Sweet love. Sweet love, can I go up to by the way, if I ever screw up, like I'll call her by her name, which is rare, or like honey or something, or sweetie. She goes, "Did you just call me honey? Did you just call me sweetie?" It's sweet love, or else I'm in trouble. But anyway, I want to go up to some chick one day and say, "Hey, Chiquita, are you from Omaha?" Sensible Don, by the way, I got some major news.
I'm listening.
We may have found the woman in the studio.
You think so?
And, she's going to be here on Thursday. And I even told my wife about her.
Already?
Yeah, I figure that I've laid the groundwork because, my wife vetoed a woman in the studio with us.
Yeah.
That's why Alex is your sidekick and has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, I see that.
Now, anyway, now just imagine this, folks, and Thursday you're going to get to meet her. Imagine a female version of me.
I can't even imagine that.
Oh, my gosh.
I am not kidding you. And by the way, the person who introduced me to her said she's a female version of you, and I'm like, yeah, right. Well, I met her on Friday, and guess what? I have met the female version of me.
Bulldog, there's only 3 mics.
And it's even better than this. She's got some connections.
To the right people.
And she wants to take us to a different level. So you know what I say? Come on in the studio.
That's going to last about 10 minutes.
Yes, 10 minutes, if that.
Have some faith. Have some hope.
No.
You ever seen two bucks going at each other?
Bang.
That's what makes good radio.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I think
Guys
she's
will
got a
kill
good
each other
radio
after 10
voice, too.
minutes.
I think she's got a good radio voice.
2 voices at
And she's
the same
prettier than you and me.
Yeah, but 2 voices at the same time.
All you're worried about is Alex. If
right.
she works out, we'll still let Alex come in because guess what?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I have requested, and I'm the kingpin around this radio station now. I have requested another microphone, and Gaither, who supports me. See, I'm the big man around here because the bigwigs, meaning Yinger, Gaither, and Schloy, like me.
Okay.
And they're bringing in a microphone. So we're going to have 4 microphones in here.
Is that right?
That's right. And you know what? We need our postal guy. Postal boys, if you're listening, I want you.
Whoa. Don't do that.
I like those guys.
No.
All right.
Let postal guys call TC first.
Hey,
Clear it with TC.
Hey, Sensible Don, he didn't see all the postal workers,
Thank you
did he?
very much. No, he didn't see them all. He didn't see them all.
We know something you
first.
don't know, JC.
Yeah, I'm
Let's get
sure
with
you do.
history.
I usually find out 5 minutes before they're on the air.
Teddy Roosevelt.
We're in the lobby. Can you let us in?
Teddy Roosevelt was a poor speller since childhood. He was kind of a wimpy little kid, too. As president, he became an enthusiastic supporter of efforts to simplify the spelling of English words. In 1906, he ordered that all White House documents be printed with revised spellings of 300 words proposed by spelling reformers. Through would be spelled through, it's T-H-R-U, and dropped would be spelled dropped, D-R-O-P-T. Where's this story going? It may have been the biggest miscalculation of his career. An international uproar ensued. Congressmen made impassioned speeches, accusing the activist president of going too far. Editorial writers had a field day. The Baltimore Sun asked whether TR's name should now be spelled Roosevelt or Butt and Sky. British newspapers responded with outrage and mockery. Man, this guy was a progressive. Fume, the London Evening Standard. How dares this Roosevelt fellow presume to dictate us how to spell a language, which was ours while America was still a savage and undiscovered country. Said the London Sun. We venture to think that even President Roosevelt might manage to get along very well with the language that was good enough for Shakespeare and Milton. They had all those words spelt that way, folks. Roosevelt's enemies seized the opportunity to gang up on him. After the House voted 142 to 24 to overturn TR's order, the president reluctantly backed off. His efforts to change the way Americans spell, over with.
Explain to me.
Now, nobody's ever heard of that story. You can only get that on Bulldog Nation Radio.
And that's the start of Ebonics. I'm surprised we didn't hear about this when Jesse brought it up.
You know, this is great. I'm the expert speller in the family. Every time my wife writes a letter to her mom or something in Florida, she asks me how to spell words. I love the power of being a good speller.
Same way with my wife. She spells everything for me.
You know, I was going to win the National Scripps Howard Spelling Bee until I lost my own class spelling bee. I was going all the way, and I misspelled one word.
Well, you got knocked out in the first round.
Beagle, like Charlie Brown?
No, it was Californication.
How can you misspell? I could do that.
I'm just teasing. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Anti-establishmentarianism.
Oh, you remember that?
Are you ready for a joke now? Ladies and gentlemen, if this joke is a dud, it's not my fault because I didn't proof it. Sally was driving home from one of her... Oh, I've read this. This is good. Sally was driving home from one of her business trips in northern Arizona. Not southern Arizona, northern, which is not important to the joke. But it says northern Arizona. When she saw an elderly Navajo woman walking along the side of the road. As the trip was a long, quiet one, she stopped the car and asked the Navajo woman if she would like a ride. With a silent nod of thanks, the woman got into the car. Resuming the journey, Sally tried in vain to make a bit of small talk with the Navajo woman. The old woman just sat silently, looking intently at everything she saw, studying every little detail until she noticed a brown bag on the seat next to Sally. "What in bag?" asked the old woman. Sally looked down at the brown bag and said, "It's a bottle of wine. I got it for my husband." The Navajo woman was silent for another moment or two. Then, speaking with the quiet wisdom of an elder, she said, "Good trade." One for the ladies. One for the ladies.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
And you know what? At least.
There you go.
It leads right into Shakespeare quote of the day. Everyone ought to bear patiently the results of his own conduct.
Yes. Yeah, you should bear that.
Man, the word of the day is this word of the day is funny. It's called furtive, secretive, and sly.
Furtive.
TC and Sensible Don and Alex, the law clerk, are
go.
furtive
No doubt
about their
future on this show.
about their conspiracy against the Bulldog.
Well, that's true. We've been
The Obama team member we bashed today is called Rashid Khalidi. A harsh critic of Israel has made statements supportive of Palestinian terror and reportedly has worked on behalf of the Palestine Liberation Organization. In 2000, he held a successful fundraiser for Obama. See the kind of people he hangs out with? I love it. Let's do pop culture, shall we?
Why not?
First of all, I got some movie reviews. The Iron Lady was another stupid flashback movie like J. Edgar Hoover. Why do they got to do that in movies? Just tell the story chronologically from birth to death. No. Of course, she hasn't died yet. No. They got to do these stupid psychological weird flashbacks. I fell asleep in this movie Friday night.
They're doing a series just
fell
like that.
asleep.
Would it be great if they could just stick to one subject in a movie?
Yes. Meryl
And
Streep
I'd get off on tangents.
Meryl Streep was great. Contraband, I saw that Saturday with the missus. Mark Wahlberg's movie was a B. It's a smuggling by ship action movie, Sensible Don.
He's a good action star. I like
And J-Lo and Mark Anthony, they had to make a joint appearance for a Univision promotion, and they seemed to tolerate it okay. Sensible Don, just a few months after your separation from Pam, when you know she was boinking a young stud muffin, could you sit there and act like nothing happened?
I had no problem at all.
I could not.
As long as the check don't bounce, I got no problem with it.
I would be sitting there, and if my wife I knew was hanging out with some 19-year-old boy toy, I would be fuming. I couldn't do it.
You know what your problem is?
I'm jealous.
You don't realize there's There's a billion women out there. Why would you worry about one?
Because they're special.
No
you
such
find
thing.
one good woman, you hold on to them.
No. If they decide to leave, you move down the street.
Katy Perry, by the way, has been sporting a blonde hairdo. I like her better as blonde.
Who's Katy Perry?
Oh, my God.
What's that?
She
TC.
sings California Girls.
California. Let's get California Girl. That's a good song. Miss America, I don't
She
know her
sings it
name.
with Snoop Dogg.
But who cares? It's Miss Wisconsin.
She's
Miss Wisconsin, a brunette. Brunette or blondes? What do you prefer? Blondes have more fun.
No, I like brunettes. They just look more sophisticated.
More sophisticated?
They do.
I'll take Betty over Wilma.
We're going to play California when we come back. Golden Globes. I hope you didn't waste your time and watch either. Ricky's not, that host is a mean dude. He's a mean dude.
Yeah, you're talking about
I don't like him.
waste of airtime.
Golden Globes, just roll them down real quick. Drama, The Descendants. Comedy, The Artist. Animated, The Adventures of Tintin. Actor drama, Clooney and The Descendants. Actress drama, Streep and Iron Lady. Actor comedy, Jean Dujardin, The Artist. Actress comedy, Michelle Williams, My Week with Marilyn. Supporting actor, Christopher Plummer, The Beginner. Supporting actress, Octavia Spencer, The Help. Director, Martin Scorsese, Hugo. Scorsese, excuse me. Screenplay, Woody Allen, Midnight in Paris. That's a BS award. TV series drama, Homeland. TV series comedy, Modern Family. Best miniseries, Downton Abbey. Actress drama, Claire Danes, Homeland. Actor drama, Kelsey Grammer, Boss. I agree with that one.
No, absolutely.
He is good in The Boss.
Is outstanding in The Boss.
How about Homeboy George?
Homeboy George,
Yeah.
Go George, go!
You know, it's going to be harder to get him to endorse green water now. The price just went up, I think.
know.
With that
When we come back,
win.
we're going to comment on some local and regional occurrences.
We will.
We are. Until then, we give you Bruce. Girls in their summer clothes on Real Talk
I
1160.
agree with that.
Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Hate myself for loving you.
I know you do.
Bulldog Nation Radio. Witty and wise and superb.
Okay, we're going to get Sensible Don hip to California Girls now, right?
Let's hit it. This is Katy Perry.
Well, isn't this the Monday Night
This was like a
Football song?
numero uno song for a while this year. And
Now,
guess
that's
who else
Snoop
is in
Dogg.
it? Snoop Dogg.
Recently incarcerated Snoop Dogg.
Recent pot smoker. You know, he just started smoking pot. That's what I heard.
Right, yeah, okay.
Just recently.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
he just turned 15, huh?
Yeah.
Look at her. Look at her.
Gummy bears.
You know, she's naturally pretty. I don't know why she dresses up like a goofball.
Well, look at the kind of money she's
Look at
making.
Snoop Dogg. Yeah, everybody knew that her marriage with that one goofball was going to last. Not.
I just saw that on TV. My wife was looking at that. We're married. The guy.
Who? When she married to Rick Perry?
Yeah. You know what's funny is I thought she would be like the stay at home. Let's take it easy. And the other guy was kind of crazy.
Here's
Other way
feel
around.
good. Here's feel good for you.
Here you go. Oh my God, she's got a bare butt in this video.
No, she don't.
Covered up by some clouds. It's disgusting. I hate this type of stuff.
People actually pay money to hear this.
She's got a pretty face.
We can't play anymore, but we have to pay for it.
Okay.
Good.
Look at Sensible Don. Good. He says good.
Good. Oh, they pay to look at this garbage.
Sensible Don, how did you like the fact that at the news break, somebody called me needing a lawyer for, this is great, about a car wreck.
Right.
They were seeing another lawyer at 2, and what did I do with that?
You solve that problem. You cut something away from
I
the
cut
guy.
that guy off, and I'm meeting with him at 7:30 tonight.
Solve that
I'll
problem.
do anything for a car accident case.
You hear me? Anything I can get people, you just bring it in.
What did
I'll take care of
what did I tell her? You don't need that meeting.
Yeah,
You
don't worry
cancel
about
that
it.
meeting
Don't
at 2
worry about it.
o'clock.
I take care of it.
The dog's on the
it.
way.
On the way.
All you need is me.
It was easy to cancel when the dog's on the case.
Well, see, they're sending an ordinary lawyer. You the guy who heads the firm.
Actually, I think I'm just going to send Chuck. Chuck, don't make any plans tonight. I'm just teasing. I'm going to go myself. Xavier isn't being investigated. There's victim of sexual assault, and they're being investigated by the feds. By the way, I handled a case like this.
Where?
It's Xavier.
Xavier University.
On campus, I'm telling you, they have been for years and years. They've been having these sexual assaults on campus, and they sweep them under the rug. And a lot of them involve athletes.
True.
Really?
Yep.
True.
And the feds are investigating.
I mean, one that followed.
And you know what's so funny? Xavier's worried about their brawls on the basketball court. Maybe you ought to have them all go to some reflection about sexual assault, Xavier Musketeers.
Now everyone's innocent until proven guilty.
Not in this world.
Nah, they're guilty. Children's Hospital. Ohio Medicaid cuts mean cuts to $20 million at Children's Hospital, but services will not be affected, they claim.
That's a big chunk of money.
Richie Farmer.
Well, wait a minute. Someone's going to have to work harder then. That's going to mean someone's going to have to work a 10, 15-hour day now, right?
Yeah, but they'll do it at Children's Hospital because unlike lawyers, people in the healthcare field know how to work hard. I'm telling you right now, my profession is a bunch of lazy asses.
I hate to tell you this, Bulldog, but try going to University Hospital on a holiday and see how fast you die.
Weekends are bad. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury health tip, don't get sick on a weekend.
And a holiday. Don't get sick on a holiday.
By the way, I was sick yesterday. I mean, I just was drowsy all day. But my fraternity brother happens to be my doctor. I can text on a cell phone, and he calls in medicine, and I am feeling better.
Right now.
That's called connected.
You definitely connected.
Who needs health care reform if you got a frat brother as a doctor? I mean, come on, America.
Green water keeps you healthy.
Hey, the key to health care reform in this country is everybody go to college and have a frat or a brother or sorority sister who's a primary care physician.
You got to have one in the class.
Everything's solved. Richie Farmer's butt is a little nervous. He was a former agriculture commissioner in the state of Kentucky. Apparently, he leaves office, and the new agriculture commissioner and the new auditor is on him like green on grass because all these employees started bringing to the office all of these allegations of timesheet issues, travel vouchers, purchases with state credit cards, missing inventory, false reports. It's not looking good for little Richie.
Walked away and they destroyed him.
Mr. UK basketball was not a help to David Williams. At all. And did you hear about the Inquirer did a great job discussing corporate welfare, and it just proves why it's bad. The Sunday Inquirer, let me see, $32.4 million to MedPace, $10 million to GE Aviation, $8.4 to Omnicare, $6.3 to U.S. Playing Card, $3.2 to First Financial, $1 million to Zumbiel. You know what? Why not just have overall good tax and regulatory policy statewide that supports all businesses and inspire business to come. Instead of this Kentucky, Ohio, this little, let's give somebody a bunch of tax dollars. Right. What if they give Eric C. Deters and Partners, PSC, some tax dollars?
How about Greenwood Incorporated?
By the way, I'm threatening to come and move my entire operation in this building out of Kentucky. Maybe I ought to go to the city of Independence, Kenton County, the state of Kentucky, and say, how much are I moving?
You mean?
In fact, I want to move my house to Ohio.
And my
wife doesn't want to, but
Eric,
I do.
Now, don't go doing nothing crazy.
The hell with the bluegrass state.
Will they say to you how much does it cost to rent the truck?
I get more clients in Ohio now anyway.
Yes, that's a good idea. They have BOE.
There's more people over here, right? So I got more clients. Hell, that lady that I'm going to go meet's from Indiana. Indiana wants me. Dean Taylor. That was supposed to be the feel-good song, but I vetoed it. Taxpayer.
We used that once before.
I know we did. Sunday Inquirer. 185 million tax credits have been offered. 50% missed the job goals. See, this is what they do, like Converges. If you give us this tax credit, we're going to hire XYZ. Baloney. Thought I was going to say the S word, didn't you?
Yes.
I said baloney.
Finger on the button.
I created that word just like superbity. Baloney. Carrie, if you're listening, let's have your dad trademark that one too. Baloney.
Baloney.
See, I create, you know what? TR tried to change spelling. I just create my own words. Oh, by the way, this is a true story. This might shock you since I am such a great rhetorician. But when I was a little toddler and a little boy, true story, I spoke so fast, nobody understood what I was saying. And this is a true story. I created some of my own words. Now, these are the only words that I remember of my vocabulary. And to this day, my brothers and sisters tease me. I couldn't say ghost, so I don't know why I called ghosts yay-yays. A bulldozer was Keelum. I would push the bulldozer going Keelum, 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 Keelum. I couldn't say my brother Seth's name, so I called him Peppy. And he was nicknamed Peppy forever. I couldn't say Celia, so I called her Panon. Don't ask me. There's no rhyme or reason for this, but I created my own English language.
You know, I have a friend. He's a psychiatrist. Now, he's expensive, but he's pretty good. You may want to give him a call.
I'm going to walk up to a judge one day and say, Kialum yay yay.
You getting sanctioned.
Just see what he says.
No,
what are you saying?
Sanction.
That's Bulldozer Ghost.
Lock him up.
Maybe it's something from a previous life.
Kialum.
Could you have Don bring me a Big Mac?
Maybe in a previous life you were a Native American.
Listen to
That was
this.
a phrase you used.
Listen to this legal news. I got two things in legal news, but only one worthy for radio. A group of residents in Sussex County, Delaware, have filed a lawsuit in an effort to stop county officials from reciting the Lord's Prayer before council meeting. The lawsuit claims the prayer affiliates the county government with one single faith, Christianity. That's BS because the Jews say the Lord's Prayer. The council argues that the prayer is generic and that no one forces any of the audience members to join in or participate. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
What's happening to America?
You don't have to participate, then it's okay. I'm not part of that. And as long as it's two religions, it's okay. There's 10,000 religions in this country. Everybody has a religion.
You know, down in the mountains where my mama's from, they worship snakes.
Snakes?
They kind of die worshiping snakes.
And drink
They hold them
strychnine.
snakes up. Oh, look, I'm holding this snake. I'm holding this snake. And the snake bites them in the throat and they die.
Yeah. The snakes and
You know what?
strychnine.
I got this question. Why would you do snake worship?
Explain that
After
to
you
me.
see the first person keel over, you'd kind of think, maybe this isn't the way.
Well, God let him go.
Are you ready for some sports, Sensible Don?
Oh, why not? We had some good sports weekend.
The Ravens.
That's it? No more law? No, that's it? No
That's it
more
on law.
stuff?
That's in law.
All right. Wow, we're done with that.
Little light in the law category today.
The lawyer's light, huh?
We told the story about how I derailed one guy's. Is that a tortious interference of a contract that I cut another lawyer off? You heard me say.
Now, wait a minute. We got the sports music now.
Ravens 20, Texans 13. You know, I think the Ravens are gritty enough to beat the Pats.
They tough. No doubt about
They
it.
got a running game and they're tough D.
And they play ball.
The Giants 37, the Packers 20. Now, I got to ask you a question, Sensible Don. The score was 20-13, 12 minutes left in the game. The Packers have the ball in the Giants 45, 4th and 5, and instead of punting it, they go for it.
Which don't make any sense.
When we come back, I'm going to point out how Michael McCarthy owes the city of Green Bay an apology for his bonehead decisions.
How about giving up the job?
On Real Talk 1160.
Real Talk 1160 is on Facebook. You can keep tabs of your favorite talk hosts and listen to live streaming. You are part of the conversation. Log on to Facebook.com/Real Talk 1160 and join in. And now, join the Bulldog.
This is the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. God, I love that song. I'm under your skin. Look, I got my AC/DC hat on. Sensible.
Is that what that is? Is that the AC/DC hat?
That's what it is. Mike McCarthy, let me see. 2 onside kicks. One, well, actually both were completely bonehead. Lost them both. They had fumbles. I mean, Rodgers missed a couple throws. Wide receivers dropped balls.
Any one of those onside kicks that worked, he'd have been a genius, wouldn't he?
Nah, he was a
You
dumbass.
grabbed, he was a genius. That was beautiful what he did.
In these games Saturday, the 49ers outlasted the Saints 36-32.
That was the
What a
best
game.
Best game of the weekend.
The Pats beat the Broncos 45-10. It wasn't all Tebow's fault. Their defense sucked.
It sucked all year, didn't it?
Yeah. In college, no, actually, the Broncos' defense was good.
No, God likes the Patriots just a little bit more than he likes the Broncos.
That's
I
not
think.
true. It's not about God. You know what? I get mad when people say that. Tebow gives thanks to God. God doesn't care about football games.
Why not?
He just
No,
does.
you're right. You're right.
He
But
doesn't.
Tebow's still a good guy.
Exactly.
He's still a good guy.
I backed old TC down there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
backed
you
him down
did.
too quick.
Buckeyes 80, Indiana 63. They get their revenge on the Hoosiers. My UK, back-to-back tough road wins. They beat Tennessee 65-62. Can you say Anthony Davis and Kid Gilchrist? Superstars.
Ain't that good, huh?
Oh, baby. NBA 1 and 2.
1 year in college?
1 year in college are out of. You know, Anthony Davis was the number 1 ranked basketball player in the country.
Right.
He just broke the record for UK freshmen block shots and there's only 18 games played.
Wow.
Xavier 77, St. Bonnie 64, Drury 83, NKU 72, UC 82, Villanova 78.
Still winning.
Louisville 76, DePaul 59. Florida State spanks North Carolina. I just put this in there because I want to make fun of the Carolina. 90-57. Miami Redhawks 52, Buffalo 51. Cyclones beat the This is embarrassing. They beat the Wheeling Nailers 5-4. Not Wheeling Whalers. The Wheeling Nailers.
Nailers.
Now, do they make like nails in Wheeling, or do they have a lot of procreation?
No, they make hammers.
Why the hell are Wheeling called nailers?
Because they are hard.
They make hammers?
They're as hard as nails. That's what it
Think
means.
about that. They're called the Wheeling Nailers.
Hard as nails.
That's embarrassing. And this is a fun thing to make fun of. Thursday, there was a pro soccer draft. Louisville had 3 of the first rounders. Now, you know the soccer is getting their act together when they're having a soccer draft. You know what the signing bonus was for the number 1 player? $100 and a McDonald's coupon.
You're kidding me.
No, he's not.
Sign him. Well, I don't know. It could be. I mean, come on, man. Pro soccer draft. Good golly.
Louisville. A lot of prospects in Louisville.
Mike Zimmer is reported headed to the Dolphins as their head coach. See ya. Hanson, the horse named Hanson, might win, announced today the Eclipse Award for the 2-year-old winner. Now, this was in the New York Times. You know, the Bulldog pays attention to everything. Do you know, with the exception of the 2001 Ravens, if your name has a bird in it, if there's a wing, there's no ring. The Bills, which, you know, like Horse Bill, lost 4 times. Cardinals lost, Seahawks lost, Eagles lost, Falcons lost. No team except the Ravens in 2001, who's named after a bird, has won the Super Bowl. You know what? I would change my name today.
That now.
The hell with the Eagles, the Falcons, the Cardinals.
The Bengal Birds.
The Bengal Birds.
They never won.
You need to have a tough name like the Bears.
The Bengals?
The Cowboys, not. The Giants, the Steelers, not the Cardinals, the Seahawks. We're the Eagles. We're the Falcons. Oh, my God. Joe Paterno did an interview. He says, I didn't know exactly how to handle it, and I was afraid to do something that might jeopardize what the university procedure was, so I backed away and turned it over to some other people I thought would have a little more expertise. You know, it really is ridiculous that Paterno got canned. He did turn it over to the campus people.
But guess what, Bulldog? You know what happened there? They wanted to get rid of him anyway.
No, you're right. They were like, Joe, you're 96. Get the hell out of the way.
You gotta go. We gotta get some new blood.
You
in
can hire
here.
somebody cheaper.
Yes.
Hey, now this is incredible. You know, last Friday, our feel good song of the day was "Mrs. Robinson" by Simon and Garfunkel.
Right.
This Bulldog Nation member allows me to read this email without giving her name. Why is the song of the day Mrs. Robinson, ? About 10 times. Long story short, I had a quote-unquote thing with someone 18 years my junior, a fun thing, and he moved away, good thing, over a year ago. That's her words, by the way, not mine. Long story short, I had a thing with someone 18 years my junior, a fun thing, and he moved away, good thing, over a year ago. Today, he is back in town to visit family. This morning, I said to myself, I would not see him while he's in town unless I got a sign. Mrs. Robinson used to be his ringtone on my phone. And she heard that song. She's like, there's the sign.
There's the sign.
Hey, I think she did some thing with the young thing.
There's a sign. Where's the hotel?
Hey, is that hilarious? And I want to thank this Bulldog Nation member for sharing this. This is how we affect lives every day.
Turn them around every day, don't you?
Folks, he's not a teacher.
Hey, you know what? That is incredible. You know what? I never thought of. I have no idea if she is or not.
Oh, please don't let it be.
Is that great? And there's another guy that liked our cream soda story. He says that Hank's brand vanilla bean cream soda is the best, and we got to try that.
Barks root beer is the best. Ask Uncle Al.
Barks, I like Barks cream
That's
soda.
right. Uncle Al said it was the best.
Barks root beer cream soda is great.
Green water cream soda is not bad either.
Usually world news that we cover is kind of boring.
Right.
Not today. Are you ready for some good world news?
I've got some world news music for you.
Okay, good. World News. That does sound like Walter Cronkite kind of stuff.
Good evening. This is Walter Cronkite.
The news. Listen, this is how many acres, cocaine, we're battling cocaine.
Right.
Get this. These are how many acres of cocaine were under cultivation in Colombia in 2000. 405,000 acres of cocaine. Now, listen to this. We've reduced that in 2010 to only 140,000.
Yeah, right. Reduction.
How do you grow 140,000 acres of cocaine? Now, listen. Bolivia and Peru have picked up what they've dropped off. So Bolivia and Peru. Now
Picking
get
up
this.
the slack.
This is in my blog today. Get this. This is from the Wall Street Journal. The Bolivian president, Evo Morales, built a political movement by demonstrating against the drug police, and he has named cocoa growers to law enforcement posts, including drug czar.
Sounds good to me. Talk about a cash crop here.
Many just said Bolivia is going to embrace cocaine.
How's their economy?
It's booming. Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case. It's impossible to win the drug war.
It's impossible. Illicit drugs will not go away.
Now is there a theme music for the Poseidon Adventure?
Oh, yeah, remember that?
Wasn't there a Poseidon?
Morning after.
The morning after.
Yeah.
By now you have seen the footage of the Costa Concordia sinking. Thank goodness it was close to land, Don.
Yeah.
But maybe that is why it sank. I mean, come on. That rock wasn't supposed to be there. Did you see how close that cruise ship was to shore? Holy cow. And it just kind of tipped over. It was so shallow, it didn't sink. It just went, 4,200 on board. Now, we got to stop laughing for this. 5 dead,
Right.
15 missing, and the captain is charged with manslaughter. And that's sad. But come on, man, that is ridiculous.
You cannot drive a boat on land.
The morning after was the Poseidon Adventure song
they had the
by
party that
Maureen
night.
McGovern.
Yeah, had that party that night.
What the hell? Are you
Yes,
kidding
that's right.
me?
Oh, you didn't see the movie?
I saw the movie, but how does this relate to a Titanic sinking?
It didn't sink. It
Oh,
just
my
turned over.
If we can make it through the night.
Oh, my God.
That's exactly what it's about.
Remember we talk about Europe, like up and down. The
Keep
latest
looking for the light.
Standard & Poor's stripped the A ratings from France, Austria, all these banks. Only Germany was spared. Yeah. Guess what the stock market's going to do today? Back down. Europe, the yo-yo in Europe.
Strip the A rating from Europe, period.
Those S&P people, they're just troublemakers.
Van der Sloot's got 28 years in Peru.
Ain't enough. It ain't enough.
Syria Assad says he's going to keep killing people.
Yeah.
And Iran and the USA and Israel ready for a collision. When we return, Sensible Don, we're going to cover politics.
Yes.
With lighthearted humor.
Serious politics, yes. All right.
I love this song. Don't get hooked on me, baby, on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. I want our new program director, Rob Williams, to get on the ball and come up with some stuff for us. You know, where's he's been on a job for 2 weeks, and I've seen no creative genius from him.
I got one question.
Yes.
How come Rob hasn't been here on the show?
I don't know.
That's my question. Shouldn't he come in and introduce himself to us?
I
Shake
think
our
he
hand,
should. I think he should.
Bring us some food.
By the way, if you know anybody that was on that boat, the cruise line, my number is 859-250-2527 or eric@ericdeters.com. I do speak Italian.
Uh-oh.
What? Yeah, yes, I have. Yes. Was that really Laura Ingraham? What the? Holy cow.
We're saving that for you.
Oh, my God.
Lord loves you. Lord loves you.
Me and Laura could be a dynamic duo.
No doubt about that.
Now, I want to play this song again as we went out to bumper music before we get into politics. Actually, you know, this could be a metaphor for politics. But, you know, this is not a good song to sing to a woman. Now, I want everybody, we're going to break this song down. And I want everybody to, Sensible Don, should you sing this kind of song to a woman? Just listen to the words. I think it's important. Uh-oh. Now listen to this. We're just trying to give you advice, guys. So love them and leave them song.
Yeah, right.
Good political metaphor too. Get their vote and just take their vote and be done with them.
This could replace
Keep it
Trojan
friendly,
Man.
girl. Listen to these words. Harsh. I love this song, though. Actually, maybe this is a good song to sing.
It works that
Sensible
way.
Don, when you were before you were married,
Yes.
and you would be in a relationship with a young lady,
Yeah, well,
would you play this song for them?
no, I would never give him a hint.
You would never give them a hint.
When I come,
So you'd love them and leave them without them knowing it.
come in, do the loving, and they never see me again.
Oh, good God. Did they ever get mad about that?
I've had a couple knock on my door.
Oh,
Is that
my
your choice or
gosh.
theirs?
Yeah, and had a couple kick on my car.
See, I think honesty would be important. Like, up front, you should say, this is merely loving.
It don't work, Bulldog.
It don't work?
It don't work. Not if you
All
have
right.
the particular thing.
Thank you for that, TC. Oh, it's warm where you're touching me. Maybe we can hold on one more second here. Maybe one more second. Where was he getting touched? Oh, trembling.
Now.
Oh, you gotta like that word, trembling. Trembling.
See, it's much more polite after you've been with a woman just to say, listen, I'm only on a 3-day pass from Lucasville.
Oh my God.
It's so much easier.
Don't get your life tangled up with mine.
That's right.
Crank it up. I'll just leave you, baby. I can't take no clinging vine.
Get a rash from that.
Baby.
Bad thing about the 3-day pass, TC, she probably said, well, I'm on a 3-day pass to Lewis Center.
Hey, this ain't very good, though, when it's reversed. Like the woman uses you, Don.
You can never be used. If you get what you need, you get what you need.
Isn't that kind of funny? We never feel used.
Never. Please use me, honey.
I've got a promotional message from the Green Water Company.
Hey, you better have a good one because Bob from Aurora's got one ready to fire. Go
I'm
ahead.
going to hire that guy. I'm telling you.
Go
Make
ahead.
my life easier. Parting contestants for the Huntsman for President campaign will receive a home version of Who Wants to Be President and a year's supply of green water. Available at Queen Kick.
Sounds like a
All
good
right.
idea.
Now, here's the competition of that. I got to find it here.
It's not competition. We're working in conjunction.
Yes, I like that. Green water. Go on the internet and vote for what might be more toxic at the Super Bowl. Players drinking green water instead of Gatorade or Madonna exposing her armpits. Green water. Queen Quick.
Ooh.
I added the
Wow.
last part. That was pretty good.
And you know, Madonna don't like Lady Gaga.
All right, the big news in politics today. Huntsman has a news conference to drop out. Thank God Almighty.
And
he's going to endorse Mitt. I got a son named Tag Romney.
Is Mitt the man?
Mitt's going to be. Mitt is rolling, as they say. Mitt is rolling.
Newt has not given up.
Now, the other big news, we got a lot of big news in politics. The other big news is Obama had a press conference Friday and says he wants to merge some departments and streamline some things. Now, get this. Fact number 1, Obamacare. Fact number 2, Dodd-Frank. Fact number 3, Obama has expanded federal workers by 13.5%. This is the same guy that wants to reorganize departments and save us money.
Well, he's not going to save any money. Just reorganize.
You know what? We have a special call in. J.K. Schaefer, the man that the Bearcats love. You're on Real Talk 1160. Say something witty or wise, buddy.
What's going on, Bulldog? How you doing?
I'm doing.
I don't know if I have anything witty or wise for you yet, but
JK, this is the first we've spoken live on the air since the Bearcats' big victory in the Liberty Bowl. Are you coming down? And the biggest question, JK, since you are a member of a Liberty Bowl winning team, do you get more chicks?
more chicks? No. I'm not going to comment on that. No more chicks just in the Liberty Bowl.
JK, are you 21 yet?
I've been 21 since June, so yeah, I'm a little young for my grade, but yeah, I'll be 22 this summer.
The reason why I asked that is because JK used to come down to Bulldogs, and I gave him special permission to go in and only drink Cokes, Don. He came in to only drink Cokes.
Dispensation. That's the word.
Dispensation.
And is that a felony?
Now, JK, you're headed to L.A. What are you going to L.A. if I can ask?
I was invited to play in the NFL Players Association Collegiate Bowl
Awesome.
out there on Saturday. So heading out there for a week, going to be out there practicing. Dick Vermeil and Tom Flores are the head coaches, and there's players from all over the country, so I'm pretty excited about it.
JK, on a serious note, what are your NFL prospects like? I mean, do you expect that you'll get drafted? And how many rounds are there? 7 now?
Yeah, there's 7. I have to expect to get drafted because what kind of competitor would I be if I didn't expect that? So,
are you going to get it?
Looking like a pretty good chance right now. Just got to put on a couple of pounds and run a good 40, and it'll all work out. Just got to spend some time working on that for the next 2 months.
Well, JK, I'm going to tell you something. You got something that I see in football players, which is more important than anything. I mean, you got good skills and everything, but you got big heart, and you're what they say is a football player. I use Zach Thomas as an example down in Miami, and also he played a little bit of Dallas. It's an example of a guy, he's too small, and by golly, he was a great linebacker in the NFL, and I think you've got heart. For example, my Dallas Cowboys could use a player like you.
I appreciate it. And, the Cowboys got a player right now that a lot of people are always like, oh, man, you look like 51, you look like 51, and I like watching him play a lot. And, I hope to get that opportunity and make something like that happen.
Is that Brooking?
No, that's
Sean Lee?
Sean Lee, yep.
Sean Lee, boy, Sean Lee emerged after in his second year, just emerged as their best linebacker.
Yep, and, he's a young player that he's smart. He knows the defense. He can call all the plays and get everyone lined up, and that's what I like about him a lot because, that's one thing I've had to really focus on and learn how to do the last couple of seasons at UC.
JK, handicap the NFL playoffs. We're down to the final 4 teams. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl and who's going to win the Super Bowl?
You know what? I don't know. But I think San Francisco is looking really good right now. I like the Niners. I like the way.
Me too.
I like their toughness and
Me
the
too.
way they like to run the ball. I really like them right now.
I want to see an entire Harbaugh Super Bowl, a rematch between the Niners and the Ravens, because I hate the Pats more than I do the Ravens, and I hate the Giants more than the 49ers. Isn't it amazing? As a Cowboy fan, I'm actually going to root for the 49ers to win a football game.
Yeah, it's amazing, but you're a real football fan. You like to see tough-nosed football, and if those 2 teams made it, that's what you would get in the Super Bowl. So I completely agree with you.
And you know what, JK, I'm glad you brought that up because my Dallas Cowboys are a bunch of wimp sacks. I mean, they are the biggest, softest. They're the most talented team that never goes anywhere year after year after year. And I've had enough of it. I'm going to bash them.
Well, they need to stop worrying about Jessica Simpson and all their jewelry and all that stuff.
Good point. Good point. You know what, though? If you had a chance, JK, to date Jessica Simpson, what would you do?
Would I? Would I be a man if I said no?
No. Although, you know what, JK, I always say there's got to be something wrong with Heather Locklear, Jennifer Aniston, and Jessica Simpson because they can't keep a man.
Halle Berry?
Halle Berry? I mean, what the heck's the deal?
I'm satisfied enough with watching them in movies. So maybe they're a pain in real life. Who knows?
JK, well, you know that old saying, there's a picture of a beautiful woman, and the caption says, some guy somewhere is sick and tired of her.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
Well, JK, you have a safe flight. Good luck. We'll be following your NFL career, and you call in anytime.
All right, thanks a lot, fellas. You guys have a good one.
That's J.K. Schaefer, baby, our buddy from the UC Bearcats. J.K., if you make it and you need an agent, just call me. I'm never too proud to ask. On Real Talk 1160.
Make sure you join Dave Ramsey this afternoon, 2 to 5 on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
Thank you, TC. This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters, on Real Talk 1160 with my sidekick, Sensible Don.
And I got a disagreement with J.K. Schaefer. The guy's a foul linebacker, and I wish him the best of luck. But anytime a man don't want to put up a little bad news with a woman for one night, he's got a problem. I put up with these people for one. Halle Berry, one night, I could deal with.
You know what? I could for one night.
Yes, one night. No problem at all.
But, the reality is none can compare to my sweet love.
Oh, absolutely. That's why you keep her around.
By the way, she's going to Louisville today to visit her son. Her birthday is on, you know what? My wife, she has Christmas, right?
Right.
Wait, I'll go back a little further. Our anniversary is December the 11th. Then so I got to buy her a gift. Then there's Christmas, right? There's Christmas. Then her birthday, which is January 20th. Then Valentine's Day. She has like a 2-month extravaganza. She cashes in well.
Did you go to Tiffany for a birthday?
And I go broke. Yes, I go to Tiffany's. You got to have class. You go to Tiffany's. Did you hear about Stephen Colbert?
No.
This is hilarious. In South Carolina, he spends $7,600 in ads. He's running for the United States president. He's running for president of the United States of South Carolina. And when he began his super PAC, he said, "This money I took in from donations would be used for normal administrative expenses, including, but not limited to, luxury hotel stays, private jet travel, and pack mementos from Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus."
Sounds good. Being honest.
Stephen Colbert. It's hilarious.
Full disclosure. That's transparency.
He appeared on This Week with George Stephanopoulos and had an argument with him about it. It was great. Gaffney, South Carolina. Now, this is funny. This is the town used by Gingrich to attack Romney and Bain for a company closing. This company they closed. Well, they interviewed the people in the town, including the mayor. You know what they said, Don?
I'm listening.
They said it was no big deal. Some don't even remember it. And there were no articles. They asked the newspaper. There were no articles on the closing. They're all sitting around like, what's the big deal about that place closing? Is that funny as hell?
Yes, it is.
They're attacking Romney for a plant closing, and everybody in the town saying, what? Who? What was the name of the place? We don't know. Who?
Pick your own
The
company.
newspaper didn't even report it.
Sounds like they drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh, my God. That is too funny. Now, this is an incredible accomplishment. In fact, I can't believe I didn't give him Oracle status. We're giving Oracle status here to Rand Paul. Now, this was in the Courier Journal. Because I read more than one newspaper, Sensible Don. You ought to try it sometime.
I can't do that.
The U.S. Senator Rand Paul announced Thursday that he will return to the federal treasury $500,000 in unused money from his office budget. Now, get this. On a $3 million budget, he saved $500,000. Which is nearly 20%. Now, he said the savings came through judicious spending for office equipment such as computers and the hiring of his Senate staff. He has 12 staff members in Kentucky, 15 in Washington, which is similar to other senators. He said his staff's pay is also commensurate with the offices of other senators, but his office has become frugal in making job and salary offers. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, the apple does not fall far from the tree.
Agreed.
The acorn does not fall far from the tree. Here is Ron Paul's son, who saves $500 million on a $3 million Senate budget. He doesn't have to, and returns the money to the U.S. Treasury. Now that is called walking the walk, talking the talk. Rand Paul for vice president.
Why not?
You get the conservatives.
We need a conservative voice.
And by the way, Ron Paul is kind of warming on me.
Ron Paul is fine. If the man didn't want to destroy the economy, he would be fine with me.
In fact, my newsletter and blog today points out some of his good positions. Now, meanwhile, John Edwards, now this is kind of scary. Yeah. He has a heart condition so bad that requires surgery that a judge has continued his trial. His prosecution, by the way, Don, is baloney. I mean, This guy's a jackwagon, but give me a break. They're charging him with something that has never been done before in the history of American jurisprudence, which is using campaign money for personal benefit. But there's a gray line there, you know. In other words, was it for personal? Was it for campaign? And I mean, is it real? Hey, his wife's already died, so let's kill him. All the stress, let's kill him off so his kids doesn't have a parent at all. You know what? I don't care for John Edwards, but this prosecution is a big waste of taxpayers' money, just like Barry Bonds was a big waste of taxpayers' money. Roger Clemens a big waste of taxpayers' money. Martha Stewart was a big waste of taxpayers' money. This is all about getting a big fish, and I'll guarantee you these prosecutors are holdover Republican career prosecutors that want to bring down John Edwards. Come on. The guy was ridiculed with the National Enquirer. The guy lost the election. His wife dies of cancer. Come on, this guy's life is in ruins. Well, let's put him in jail too.
The fact is, he brought it on himself, and did he not buy this doctor?
Why are you such a hard ass?
And why? Wait a minute. Ask one question. You have a
He had 2 cardiologists, and how come the judge agrees? The judge is concerned about the guy. You can't just, you know what? You don't fool a federal judge, Don.
Wait a minute. If you walk up to me,
I know they've sanctioned me.
I walk up. My doctor is down. You have a serious problem with your heart, but we won't do anything to it for 30 days. What? I want to be fixed today.
No, you've got to sometimes go on medicine, Don. For example, if you got to have a major orthopedic surgery. See, Don, I know more than you do.
Yes, you do.
If you have to have a major orthopedic surgery
Right.
and you smoke, you've got to quit smoking before you do the surgery because smoking inhibits bone health healing.
And again, if he smokes, he's a fool.
I'm showing my great knowledge again. See, I could be a doctor if I wanted to. Do you need a heart surgery? Not only am I a lawyer, if you need heart surgery, call me the Bulldog and we'll line you right up.
And I let you borrow my knife, Bulldog.
Swiss Army knife, I can do it.
I got one.
I slept at a Holiday Inn last night. I'm a funny guy all
Yes,
night.
you are. Until you really get
That's
the
why
knife
I'm going to
in.
do stand-up comedy on Valentine's Day and make my wife angry.
Is she coming?
Romney, this is too funny, folks. I'm not making this up. See, if you stay up all night like I did, by the way, I slept last night from 4:45 this morning, from 4:45 to 5:45.
Oh, wow.
I can do radio superbity on an hour's sleep. Now, anyway, I'm probably going to drop over dead one day from heart.
That.
Romney, his grandfather was a polygamist with 5 wives from Mexico. It's either his grandfather's great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather.
This is too funny. Will it help or hurt him with the Latino vote? His father and grandfather were both born in Mexico. You know, Romney looks a little Hispanic, and so does Tag.
But you know he has a family down there.
I know.
A large share of his
I
family is
know.
still in Mexico.
I wonder if this
Spanish-speaking
changes his opinion about illegal immigration.
citizens of Mexico.
And here's the other question. If you could have, I'm going to get in trouble for this one. If you could have 5 wives, would you make them all Mexicans?
Oh, yeah, you in trouble already. What kind of marriage?
Okay, Don. That's fair. If you could have 5 wives, here's the Bulldog, right? If I could have 5 wives, my present wife, you know you got to keep the one you got. Yeah. A Norwegian or a Scandinavian, an Italian, let me see.
African American. Look at it.
Yeah. A Halle Berry, African American, and an Eskimo. An Eskimo.
Did he straighten that up, TC?
Somebody's on the phone. What 5 would you pick?
Oh, start off with, it's nowhere in the world possible. I have 5 women in the same house with me. That won't happen. That will never happen. But
you know what? One woman's enough.
That's it. One woman's enough.
Buckeye Mike, you're on Real Talk 1160. Say something witty and wise.
Good morning, Bulldog.
And God, I hope my wife ain't listening.
I hope she isn't either. We're all in trouble.
And you say sanctioned.
Yeah, really. Hey, here, I want to tie a little something with Martin Luther King and the Bulldog today. How's that?
Is this serious or funny?
Oh, it's kind of funny. Yeah,
all right, good, because we're not in a serious mode
Oh,
right
this is
now.
real
We're not.
All right, Buckeye Mike, the floor is yours.
Have you ever heard of Bill Pickett?
No, but I've heard of Pickett's charge.
Well, I'm not sure if it's the same guy.
I've heard of a picket fence.
Well, okay. Well,
I've heard of pick your nose.
Well, you'll like this then. Bill Pickett was born the son of a former slave. He was known as the greatest cowboy in his day. Yes. And how it ties
Ride 'em,
into
cowboy.
Yeah. He used to.
How many yards did he have as a running back?
Didn't need any.
Oh, okay.
Not what he did. He used to wrestle steers by the horns and bite them on the lip. And that's how he brought them to the ground. And that is known as bulldogging. And he actually used to hunt the steers with a bulldog.
Are you being serious?
Absolutely.
This is a true story.
True story.
I remember Bill Pickett.
Well,
Bill
by,
Pickett.
by golly, Bill Pickett gets Oracle status.
There you go.
All right, continuing on. Solyndra wants to give out 10,000 and 50,000 bonuses to about 24 workers. Sensible, Don. This is criminal. Criminal.
That's called hush money.
The attorneys say these people have gone through a tough time and they need. Are you kidding me?
That's called hush money.
The evangelicals in Texas, 150 of them gathered, and they passed over Rick Oops Perry for Santorum. By the way, he's going to forever be known as Rick Oops Perry. What's he got in South Carolina? 1% of the vote?
No, 0.7. 0.7%.
It's a football song right here, baby. When we come back, we're going to have more radio superbity with the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Sensible Don goes, man, you didn't get any sleep, did you?
Okay,
we're trying to get Mr. Oatmeal Banana Eating TC to find us a song just for fun.
I hate to tell you this, Bulldog.
Yes.
But guess what's going to happen in your life?
What?
When you're gone and you're laying in that box, TC be standing with a box of oatmeal laughing at you.
By the way, my wife said she's going back to sleep till 9:30.
Small woman.
Unless she's bluffing, we're safe and clear.
She's a smart lady.
And Chuck Holbrook, when J.K. was talking about, linebacker, said, Teddy Bruschi. I hate Teddy Bruschi. In fact, Chuck, I hate Teddy Bruschi so much. He's a jackwagon.
I got some more.
And Chris from Mount Healthy says that he loves the movie Monsters Ball, and he fast forwards to the one scene. Sensible Don says that was not acting when Billy Bob and Hallie went at it.
And you know what she got for that? An Academy Award.
And Amy, Bulldog Nation member Amy says, throw Edwards to the wolves. Women do not like cheaters. And Edwards is toast. If he's got a jury of women, see ya.
Case closed on him.
See ya.
They do not like powerful men who are cheaters.
You know what? She's my friend, and I wouldn't want her on my jury.
I got some more bad news for you.
What's that?
The Giants will win the Super Bowl.
Well, they're rolling right now. They're tough and gritty. And they're so lucky. I mean, Eli Manning won a Super Bowl with a receiver catching a football to the side of his helmet.
Yeah, on his helmet. The helmet caught the ball.
I mean, come on.
Luck was there.
Good God. With Harrison bearing down on him.
Guess who's coaching Eli?
Who?
His brother.
His brother?
That's right.
Peyton?
I guarantee his brother's coaching him.
Is Peyton going to be jealous if Eli wins 2 and Peyton only wins 1?
Peyton can't play no more.
It's a sad day because Congress returns.
That is sad, isn't it?
Boehner, Reed.
John's back.
All the guys we hate are coming back to Congress.
And do nothing.
And they're really going to solve some problems.
Yes, they are.
Oh, they're all. You know what? I'm a jack-wagon guy. This is for Congress returning.
Whole 535.
They call it the 112th Congress. 112th Congress. 112th Congress. John Boehner, Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi, Eric Cantor, all of you. Except Rand Paul. That's all the Tea Party members. In economics, there was an article done by Wall Street Journal. New York Times Magazine. What if there was no Wall Street? They say the poor would stay poor. There would be no middle class. And there's a lot of awesome things that would never happen, like IPOs and raising big capital. Right. For example, my good buddy Bill Cunningham. He would not have a William Cunningham show if there wasn't some big wigs in the media.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Got to have capital. Got to have some money, folks.
Now, here's something, too. The New York Times on Sunday, they did an in-depth study on the 1%ers. Those who make at least $380,000. Sensible Don, I'm proud to report that I'm a 1%er.
I'm not there yet.
Now, this is interesting. The 1%ers are not all Wall Streeters. 192,000 are doctors. 161 are administrators and CEOs. 192,000 are other managers. 145,000 are lawyers.
Lawyers?
It's a varied group from podiatrists to actuaries, executives, entrepreneurs, self-made, and silver spoon. They're in New York, Los Angeles, Denver, Dallas, and in Cincinnati.
Absolutely. They were hooking
the
around
1%ers create jobs.
I
have a payroll to meet every 2 weeks.
Linda was a 1%er, and he created a whole bunch of jobs.
Now, Sensible Don, we got to promote a few charity events. Let me see. Dan and Michelle Rink want us to promote. And by the way, this is all on my blog and newsletter. They want me to promote their polar bear climb on February the 11th in Versailles State Park. Check it out on my newsletter. Tammy Sullivan, I really support this cause. She's trying to create a coexist and peace, ban bullying, and check it out also on my blog. By the way, I sued a lot of schools, and but it's hard. You can't bullying.
You can't stop.
It can't stop it. And you know what? Stop. These schools don't take it serious enough.
You can't stop.
They don't take it serious enough. You got to stand up to bullies. And I have been asked to MC, that's Master of Ceremonies.
Uh-oh.
That's what that means, Don.
Yeah, I'm listening.
On February the 11th, 2012, from 6:30 to 11:30 at the Syndicate, an event for the Cincinnati Children's Hospital Division of Asthma Research. And again, I was asked to do that by Autumn Tay Short, the wife of my buddy Al Short. And again, that'll be on Facebook. But I will be the Master of Ceremonies, Sensible Don.
There's a problem with that.
What's that?
You have to walk away from the mic every once in a while. Can you do that?
No.
I didn't think so.
I will entertain the crowd with my stories. And now, have you ever heard the story behind the Tim Tebow story?
There's a story behind the story, or is that the rest of the story?
I'm going to tell you the story behind the Tim Tebow story. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, here is a story for you. More than 24 years ago, Pam and her husband Bob were serving as missionaries to the Philippines and praying for a fifth child. Pam contracted amoebic dysentery, an infection of the intestine caused by a parasite found in contaminated food or drink. She went into a coma and was treated with strong antibiotics before they discovered she was pregnant. Doctors urged her to abort the baby for her own safety and told her that the medicines had caused irreversible damage to her baby. She refused the abortion and cited her Christian faith as the reason for her hope and that her son would be born without the devastating disabilities doctors predicted. Pam said the doctors didn't think of it as a life. They thought of it as a mass fetal tissue. While pregnant, Pam nearly lost her baby 4 times, but refused to consider abortion. She recalled making a pledge to God with her husband. If you give us a son, we'll name him Timothy, and we'll make him a preacher. Those of you that don't know your Bible, Timothy was a follower of St. Paul and was a very big teacher through the Mediterranean, following Paul places. Pam letters to Timothy, if you remember the Bible. Paul's letters to Timothy. Pam ultimately spent the last 2 months of her pregnancy in bed and eventually gave birth to a healthy baby boy August 14th, 1987. That's a Leo baby. Pam's youngest son is indeed a preacher. He preaches in prisons, makes hospital visits, and serves with his father's ministry in the Philippines. He also plays football. Pam's son is Tim Tebow. The University of Florida star quarterback became the first sophomore in history to win the Heisman Trophy, and his current role as quarterback of the Broncos has provided an incredible platform for Christian witness. He's actually called, by the way, the Mile High Messiah there. Now, is that not an awesome story?
It's a good story.
Tim Tebow,
Good story.
and why Tim Tebow might be the way he is, and what the hell is wrong with that?
Nothing, as far as I'm concerned. Worship any way you want, anyone you want.
And you know what? Tim Tebow will be back in action next year, and it'll be interesting. I'm sure they're going to have, quote-unquote, a traditional quarterback in camp. But you know what? The fans love Tebow.
They love him, no doubt about that.
And, you know, he's got a whole year to work even more on his throwing and all that good stuff. Yeah. And
he has a turbo motion.
But you know what? The guy can run the football.
He can.
That is, by the way, that was Vogue this year. You know, Aaron Rodgers running a football. Cam Newton
Philadelphia quarterback
running a football. Right. Tony Homo Romo used to run the football. Now he never does. I might get hurt. Yeah. I might get hurt. Well, Romo, run the football a little bit more and be a winner.
You got to be pretty. You got things to do. You got stars.
You know what's sensible, Don? You know what's great about stories? What? And it's like in the movie Amistad. I don't know if you saw the movie Amistad.
Yes, I did.
But John Quincy Adams, who was practicing law after he was president, people don't realize this, he served in Congress and actually died in Congress. He's the only president in the United States history that served in Congress after being president. Mm-hmm. But anyway, do you remember that great scene that Hopkins is talking to Matthew McConaughey's character? Mm-hmm. And he looks at him and he says, "What's his story? What's Kincaid's story? What's the story?" And you know what? As a lawyer, sensible Don, there's an old saying that the lawyer that tells the best story wins. Because every legal matter is a story. It's like that case that I was going to try last week in Boone County until the last minute they changed who the victim of the attempted murder was. I was going to tell the story of Jared Doolin. And, and I was going to win because his story beats the hell out of the prosecution story, whose chief witness is a mean drug dealer named Preston Clark. Anyway, the bottom line is that's true. And in politics, what's the story? Who's got the good story to tell? Bill Clinton told a good story. He did. He told a good story.
Right.
Mitt Romney, I think he kind of has a good story to tell. I think Santorum's got a good story to tell.
Yeah.
Having a good story to tell and telling the story well is important. But I always say this. This goes all the way back to the beginning of time. People sitting around campfires. People told stories. They passed oral history down through stories. Jesus taught in, guess what? Parables. Why? People like to listen to good stories. So here on the radio, Sensible Don, instead of listening to your silly, stupid comments, you ought to tell more stories.
I know some
like
stories.
I do.
Jerry Spence is a great storyteller. That's why he's a great lawyer.
Well, aren't I a great storyteller?
You are.
I'm bagging. When we return, we'll wrap up this radio superbity with a story on Real Talk 1160.
Don't worry if you miss any dose of your daily dose of radio superbity. You can catch Bulldog Nation podcast. They're up and running at realtalk1160.com. And now back to the Bulldog.
Keep that song going, TC. Eddie Money belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for this song alone. Instead of going up and calling a woman Chiquita,
yes,
you might want to walk up to her, Sensible Don, and say, I got 2 tickets to paradise. Won't you pack your bags and leave with me tonight? Slap!
It's a good thing you've been married for a while because you have no idea how to pick a woman up.
I don't need to worry about that because I am married.
That's a good idea.
Now check this book out. I got to promote this book. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we've never done this before. The first ever, this is historical, the first ever Bulldog book of the day. Now listen, Oprah Winfrey, when she picked a book, it would sell 1 million copies.
Immediately.
Well, here's what we're going to do. Here at Bulldog Nation, we're hoping for 100. Okay? By promoting this book, we hope it sells 100 copies. The name of the first ever book club of Bulldog Nation Radio. This is a spontaneous event, by the way. An instructional and inspirational karate book. How to Beat Up Anybody by the world champion Judah Friedlander. And I'm telling you right now, this is some funny stuff. In this book, you will find out what your diet should be. You'll find out how to beat up somebody on a unicycle. Levitation. It will teach you how to beat up somebody with no arms. How to beat up someone with 3 arms.
How hard is it to beat up somebody with no arms?
Let me see some other stuff.
Do you have to read instructions on that?
Let me see. World champion. He trained. Subway survival. How to beat up people on the subway. He even shows you.
There's an art.
He shows you all the moves. Oh, listen. He even gives strippers exercise tips.
How to beat up strippers.
And he says it wears him out. But this is too funny. Look at this. This is my Karate Academy. The most important page in karate history. All the moves. Look at this thing. The 18 triangles of power. Look at world champion. World champion. By the way,
hold that closer to the microphone.
By the way, I want everybody to know this guy is going to train me for my next MMA fight.
Hold that up to the microphone so everyone can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks like an extra from Jackass.
Look at this. Chapter Infinity, not for the epilogue. Look, with one kick, he knocks all those guys down.
There's got to be 50 guys there.
Oh, my God. Look at this. This is a blank page for your karate notes and questions. This guy is funny.
I'm going to describe what he looks like.
Oh, well, yeah, how he looks. Okay, he's got long black hair. He's unshaved. He's got ugly white rim glasses. He's got a cheap world champion karate hat on. He's got an ugly yellow T-shirt with world champion, and he looks like he can't beat up your sister.
You're making fun of this guy, and he's supposed to be training you?
He's world champion. It's a satire about how everybody acts like they know karate. It can beat everybody up. Look at it. How to beat up Bigfoot.
Now, that's a useful skill, though. You never know when you might be out,
Oh, my God, look at this. The karate fart. Oh, my God. He comes up with the karate hula hoop. Anyway, How to Beat Up Anybody by Judah Friedlander. We want at least 100 copies because we can start bragging that if we promote a book, sales go up by 100.
We got power. We got power.
Power. Sensible Don, do you think we'll do it?
Oh, absolutely. 100, no doubt about it.
Go ahead and promote yourself there.
Sensible Don on Facebook if you want to talk to me about Bulldog, and Sensible Don at yahoo.com if you want to talk to me about anything else, including the fact that my sidekick is going nowhere.
Chuck Holbrook has joined us in the studio. You got any parting words, Chuck?
No.
I want to tell you this.
How's Heather?
Thursday,
Doing well.
Thursday, Lori Taylor is going to be joining us. She's going to take us to a whole new level there, Sensible Don.
Check out on Facebook.
Napping You Snooze. Now, this was in a newspaper, and it was about napping, and I had to point some things out. I'm a napper, right? Let me tell you some people, other people that like to nap. Winston Churchill, John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, Napoleon, Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, and the Bulldog.
They had things to do. You don't have anything to do.
What? What are you talking about?
And those guys are all dead.
Thank you very
We
much.
all die.
No, we don't. Not Bulldog. And Chuck said he does all the stuff you brag about. Chuck said he does it.
Amy Givens wants to know why I want to leave Kentucky. WTF. I'll tell you why I want to leave Kentucky. It's called the Kentucky Bar Council. The
problems are over now.
Of course, I've already beaten them.
You beat
I
him.
got her fired. See what happens when you attack the Bulldog? You get fired.
Now, she would pay for that truck to get you out of Kentucky. She would. She would buy you a truck.
Her name was Linda Gosnell.
Linda.
Google her. Fired. By the way, with Congress coming back in action, you know, I coined a phrase, which I think I should also trademark, is they want us to be sheep for shepherds who are fools. If we can imagine, as the good Lord would tell a parable about the shepherds, if Congress are shepherds, they definitely want us to be sheep. Instead, I say we take their sticks away from them, you know, the little shepherd staffs, and swat them upside the head with it.
They need a whooping, no doubt about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
I say we turn into wolves and eat the sheep and the shepherd.
And the shepherd, right.
That wasn't a very good parable.
Yes, it was.
It was.
It was.
You like that?
The smack upside the head, that's good. It works every time. That's the Chuck.
Remember, you can listen to our podcast on thebulldogsnation.com and realtalk1160.com. And by the way, Sensible Don, I might be moving my entire operation here in this building. How do you like that?
What does Channel 19
A consolidation. Well, Channel 19, as soon as I do this, I know that they'll probably want me to anchor the news with Trish.
Right.
Who's that guy? That guy, nobody knows his name.
Ben Swan?
Yeah, Ben Swan will be gone. And I'll be anchoring the news with Trisha Mackey, doing law and doing radio all in the same building. Ben Swan, that's a throwdown, buddy.
Your whole life was centered around this building from that point on.
That's right. It's going to be Trisha Mackey and the Bulldog. I can tell you something. What do you think the ratings would do? Trisha Mackey and the Bulldog anchoring the news.
I can see it.
You know, I would go like Joker's Wild Though off, like they would put something on the screen for me to read, and I would just kind of, no. We're going to do something else. And I'll just do something else on the news. They'll be like, no, Bulldog, you got to read the teleprompter. I said, no way. And you know what? We were doing, isn't it funny, Chuck, how Bulldog Nation News we called them rants. Now they have a rant line. And then we would point out these things like Bulldog Nation News, and Ben Swan started copying it.
He's a smart man.
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
nothing dumb about him.
He's a copycat.
I see something rolling. Let me get on this bandwagon.
We like Ben. Ben was supportive of our report on illegal immigration. We had him on the radio when I was over at the other place. But, I'm going to move my law office here. I'll be doing the night. Go ahead. Keys Wetter, you go ahead and report that if you're listening. It's going to be Trisha Mackey and the Bulldog with Channel 19 News, and my law office will be here in radio.
You know the intro to your show every day with Trisha Mackey?
What's it going to be?
You and her with the pitchfork full of stuff.
By the way, I got to publicly thank again Trisha Mackey for that fine profile that she did.
Excellent job.
It was a good job. Told the other side. It's called The Other Side, Don, like the other side of me. Showed how hard worker I was, that I knew how to clean out a horse stall.
Yes. How come she didn't talk to your sidekick?
I don't know, Don.
Was there some secrets you didn't want to get
By
out?
the way, I want to let you know that this Lori Taylor, she said, man, we could take you all the way. Who's this TC and Sensible Don? And I said, hey, they're part of the team. I'll tell you right now, if they don't go, I don't go.
Simple as
I
that.
was loyal, man. I said, either we all go as a group or none of us go. That's what I said.
He threw down the gauntlet, didn't he, Chuck? That
You
means
know,
we out of here.
John Yinger thinks we should replace Don Imus when he retires.
Sounds good to me.
I think so. We could out Imus.
Sounds good. At least we get a smile on the face every morning.
Yeah, Imus kind of looks
Don,
like a raisin.
Imus is a nappy-headed host.
Oh, I love that. That's a good one, baby.
See?
Witty and wise, baby. Witty and wise. And you know what? We share something. We both got fired for
Saying the wrong thing.
unfair comments.
And you in trouble this
We
morning,
got
aren't
fair. No, what did I make fun of?
you? He can't even remember, can he? TC?
About if you were married to 5 wives?
Not before that.
Pick one?
Yeah, before that.
What did I say before that?
I'm not gonna
Oh, my
repeat it.
gosh. Am I in trouble?
Yes, you are. It's on tape.
If
We'll edit it
if
out
I could
before
have
it gets
5
on the air.
wives like Romney's great-grandfather, I said I'd pick my current wife, a Italian, a Scandinavian, a
African American.
African
Which you
American,
almost
and an
choked
Eskimo. And an Eskimo. What about you, Chuck? Never mind, we don't have time. Remember, every dog has their day. Hope tomorrow's yours. Nowhere can you get radio superbity except right here. Laura Ingram and Radio Addiction is up next on Real Talk 1160.